Mrs. Green Apple, we are continuing our track by track listen through to the Attitude album with the song Kudari. Now, it's called Kudari, which basically means to go down, like down the steps. Like if you're in the station and you're going down the steps, it'll be the Kudari steps. And yet, I remembered this because I knew this is the first of a little session of recordings I'm doing today because I tend to record these in batches. I was thinking of this as being Hidari, as in left rather than down. So if I accidentally said the song name wrong when I talked about this last time, apologies. But yeah, it's Kudari, not Hidari. I'm wondering why I was remembering it as, oh, I've got to go check out Hidari. But it's not, it's Kudari. Anyway, no one cares about that. We're in with this song now. You continue with track by track listen through. Just in case you didn't know, we have obviously gone over our Tornado because that was the song that I had reacted to prior to getting to this track by track listen through. So if you want to see my reaction to that, it is on this channel. You can go look it up. But we are here with Kudari, and Kudari I'm especially excited about because this is one of those not particularly multiple. This is only the second, with exceptions to the intro. It's only the second song on the album so far we've heard that just hasn't had any video made for it. Now, there's more of them towards the end, but a song with no video I always find interesting because that's a room for experimentation because that is a song where, well, clearly no one thought we need to put budget into making a video or even a lyric video for this. We had a lyric video for Propose, which was quite an interesting and experimental song. Viking didn't have a music video, and that actually ended up being a hell of a lot of fun. So no idea what to expect with Kudari. Down. It's 4.5 minutes. Is it a slightly longer song? Well, actually, no, Mrs. Green Apple songs tend to be pretty full. They really do pack out those arrangements, don't they? Yeah, so maybe this is a punk song by the comparisons. Let's find out. I'm trying to guess ahead because I got no clues to go on. Let's find out what Kudari is. It is Kudari, Mrs. Green Apple, continuing with the track by track listen through to Attitude, the album. Let's jump and give it a listen.
瞳はいつからか嘘が見えて
Straight in with the swing rhythm.
汚れた世の中の仕組みもやってほど見えて声が届かないと知ったのはいつだろう知らない誰かにも嫌われたくなんかないと思ったのはいつからだろうつくのもある時から疲れて
Interestingly restrained so far.
悲しいのも寂しいのも私だけでいいのさ何にも
Very sad lyrics too.
負けないそのあなたの笑顔が悲しみで溢れることがないようにどうやって生きていけばいいのだろう結局は気遣いさせては虚しさの海に落としてしまってどうしよう風の日が得意になり作ろうのなんかは冷めじまえでも心のどっかで見つけてほしいんだろうな
It's very, very sort of gentle and simple. It has these beautiful rises and falls, you know? The song that isn't just scared to go very light. It's very big.
汚れた世の中の仕組みにやってほどなれて声が届かないと諦めたのはいつだろう
Blues guitar picking with the piano and that swinging rhythm. Very soulful.
どうやって息を吸えばいいのだろう結局は気遣いさせて私という海を泳がせてしまって
It's past 3 minutes by really quickly as well.
美ができなくなり目をかすって埋める足りない価値でも心のどうかで助けてほしい
It's just kind of pretty. I'm loving the timbre. Again, the stereo usage in Mrs. Green Apple songs is brilliant, where you always have something on the left and the right hand side playing off against each other. Whether it be two guitars or a piano and a guitar. Oh, that's nice. Oh, I kind of felt like they should have left it on that final chord. I know they resolved that final chord, but I actually liked when it went sorry, I got the chord wrong. Try to do it with my voice. When they went to that slightly off-kilter chord, I thought that was interesting to leave it on an unresolved chord, but they decided to do it the pretty way. Okay, genuine thoughts on this one. So, obviously you judge this on a very different level because of the fact that you know that this is a song where, of all the songs on the album, this is in the less than 50%, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah, less than 50% of the songs, because we don't include the intro, which have not got any video made for them. So we assume this is very much in their self-decided, less marketable half of the album. I'm talking here obviously not just about the band, but about the general Mrs. Green Apple machine, which is so successful anyway. So you judge it from that standpoint. I would say that is it a song that I would describe as being using that as that lack of spotlight as a space to be experimental in the way that Propose did? No, this is very much a traditional style song, very accessible, something that I think anyone could like. But it is definitely a song that it's delicate, it's simple, and it's direct. It doesn't have anything that makes it hugely sonically identifiable or unique, but what it does exceedingly well. So, whereas you listen to a song like Ao Tonatsu, which is, again, it's not anything you haven't heard before, but it's got an identity. When you hear it, you can immediately sort of click, oh, that's kind of like the Mrs. Green Apple sound. Oh yeah, it's got their style of orchestration and everything to it. You could even say that for the song before, Boku no Koto. You could say a similar thing about that. Whereas when you hear Kudari, a lot like Viking, it has a distinct sound, but it's a sound that doesn't feel so much like a Mrs. Green Apple thing, so much as it's a sound that they wanted to give a go. So Viking kind of has this, ironically not Viking, but it has kind of like a seafaring, sea shanty-esque vibe. Not a Viking vibe, but a little bit Eastern European maybe, actually. Somewhere between Eastern European and a pirate shanty, if you can imagine such a thing. So yeah, it's borrowing a lot of sounds there. And Kudari definitely sounds like it's a very relaxed, kind of almost borderline folky kind of acoustic, light electric style, chilled out, mid-tempo song. It's kind of soulful. It's just very much a simple song, but what makes it work is that it actually feels very delicate. It has the word I like to use for this kind of thing is when I say it sounds tangible. Rather than feeling like a processed pop song or a processed recorded song, it's got this feeling where you can really feel the contact on every string of the guitar, electric or not. You can really feel the drums are very delicate. You can feel the piano. It really feels like a living, breathing, gentle piano rather than one that's been programmed to sound that way. The vocals are delivered very light, and this comes right down to the fact that the song, as I mentioned in the verses, has these delicate, gentle sounds. Just sort of very little staccato stop bits on the guitar, just so you can feel the difference, the light and shade between the guitar, however light it is, and then the silence. And just hearing that bounce between like the silence and the sound of the guitar just makes everything feel that little bit more tangible, that little bit more real. Yeah, it's a very delicate sounding song. So when you get into those bits which are like the chorus, they're not like loud and anthemic with a huge arrangement, but they feel so much more impactful because they are the contrast to a song that in its verses is so incredibly delicate and fragile that you don't have to do anything particularly big or loud or hugely arranged to sound like you've got a large chorus by comparison. So yeah, whereas ironically, I often say on the other end of the scale when we talk about metal bands, I'm like, well, if you want your heavy metal bits to be heavy, you need to have some bits where at least you sort of back off to some like mid-energy EDM or something. So because if it's always turned up to 11, nothing sounds heavy because it's all heavy all the time. So you need to just back off a little bit so you can come launching back. This is kind of the opposite, which is that you've got a song that's so delicate that it doesn't have to do much to sound big when it gets to its chorus. It's kind of like the entire opposite end of that scale. So yeah, I enjoyed this. I thought this was really cool. Definitely, yeah, I understand why it's an album track. I wouldn't release this as a single either. It doesn't quite have that vibe. But as an album track, I think it was lovely. Really liked the fact that it had this delicacy to it again, which is nice, a nice contrast to the more big, full-sounding triumphant songs like the last two that we had prior to this. It definitely varies nicely against them. I enjoyed this. Again, it's keeping the album sounding fresh. I'm not getting too much repetition from this album. I'm getting each song's got its own personality. Each song is superbly constructed, which again is another thing I'm really liking. And I really, again, feel that art of more I'm learning from you guys in the comments, the more I'm learning what sort of alter project this is. But I'm more and more feeling that artistic vision behind how each of the songs is crafted to have a lovingly unique identity. So anyway, I enjoyed this. As always, get in the comments, tell me what you think, and until I hopefully see you very soon in Japan for the next one of these. For now, ciao, ciao.